That's what I do. I drink and I know things.
Sunshine beating down the guitar, moonlight racing through the grave, string band playing worn out honky tonks, pretty young thing going dancing in the rain. High-heel lady spitting at the liquor jacks, businessman needling a spoon, coyote chewing on a cigarette, bag of young boys going howling at the moon. Hey darling, sleeping on the black tar. Hey darling, running through the trees, honey. Hey darling, leaving for the next town, as my sex catches up with rain. Dead in a crash on the number 4. 2 witnesses blowing up high. Not sure whose will be done. You can call me a sinner, wondering why. Hey darling, sleeping on a black tie. Hey darling, running through the trees high. Hey darling, leaving for the next town as my sex catches up with me.
Who do you think those people were? Those were not just ordinary people there. If I told you their names, I'm not going to tell you their names, but if I did, I don't think you'd sleep so well.
This is a mind virus. Yes, I believe in our judicial system.
And I'll see you in Valhalla.
Condemns Adam Sandler, Tiff, standing ovation. Schwap!
Piece of shit. I'm knocking you the fuck out, you little piece of garbage.
And because the black population was so oppressed under apartheid.
Well, we never saw this oppression you're talking about.
You never saw it.
No, I never saw it.
Are you fucking retarded? What the fuck are you talking about? You're white.
What I find corny is my preference is not my women. Now, I thought it was I'm not dating my women, period, which is the corniest human being outside of a criminal to me, period.
Faggot, faggot, faggot.
It's cultural swine, bitch. Now where's the blow?
Adrenochrome.
Adrenochrome?
Yo, what's good? Haven't tuned in about a week. Missed Monday's session. But we are back. And I mean, fuck commenting on the news. I mean, there's some things to comment on, I guess, right? But it's all a shit show. All theater. It's all just fucking theater. We know it at this point. If you don't, I mean, holy shit. I mean, we're just bombing Venezuelan boats now. I mean, if we see a boat coming from Venezuela, we just say, oh, there's drugs on it. Oh no, they're competing with the U.S. drug market, and the people who have control over that market in the U.S. being the authorities, the government, and the intelligence agencies. And I don't think they like Venezuela, entering the free market. So they just blow it to smithereens, make the survivors run around to swim around in the blood-filled waters with no sharks, running around like geckos with no tails. Then they go, well, send another one. He's hanging off the side of his boat right now. Send another one in. So that's pretty crazy. All these anti-war people are now just like, oh, well, fentanyl, which you can consider it a weapon for sure, but just with like no due process or any prosecutions going on, just send missiles from drones being operated by neurodivergent individuals is pretty crazy, to say the least. Pretty crazy. Yeah, but what are you gonna do? All these anti-war, all these no war, anti-war, stop all the war people that got Trump elected, that obviously they all ran on. No, fuck this. I'm not commenting on it. It's bullshit what they're doing, regardless of what's on the boats or not. I don't know if Venezuela is the biggest threat at the moment. Maybe. I don't know. I have no clue what the fuck they tell us anymore. Tren de agua. Tren de agua. Yeah, probably pretty dangerous, but I don't know if Venezuela is the country to start going to war with at the moment, but I don't know if any country is. Pretty crazy though. Saw Shane Gillis last week in Tucson. Great show. It's like the fourth time I've seen him. I've seen a lot of the jokes that he did. I've seen them already, but they're still just as funny as ever. Can't record shit in there. Can't take pictures. Can't take videos. I get it. But yeah, I mean, I guess that's why. So he's able to do that material in arenas where everyone's going to love it. I guess it's harder to do your new material you're working on, because the last time I saw him before this, he was in a smaller venue. It wasn't a club. It was more, I don't know. It was more like a theater. But you could try new shit out. It's more intimate. You know, it was a great 360 degree stage, and he was doing a bunch of new shit because he had just dropped his special Beautiful Dogs. But I guess when he's doing the arenas, I don't know if you really have a choice to start working on new shit or shit you're not sure about. And so yeah, there's a lot of the material I've seen before, and some of the material on the special he put out on Netflix, and even some of the stories and jokes he's told. You could, I mean, if you listen to the podcast, especially the Patreon episodes, you hear some of this material. Like I mean, if you know Matt and Shane's podcast and like any of Shane's old stories, the Cliff story of him and all his buddies when they were really young at the Notre Dame game in the hotel room, just shitting on this dude. Not literally shitting on him, but going nuts, busting nuts. So yeah, that was great. I mean, comedy. Mark Norman was one of the openers, and I've been listening to a lot of Lemon Party lately, so I think Mark Norman's pretty funny. His set was actually pretty good, but I think some of the jokes and impressions that Lemon Party make about we might be drunk and Mark Norman are hilarious, maybe even funnier than his material, but it was still a great set, I guess. He made a lot of good J jokes. I'll give him that. They were pretty good. Pretty good. Comedy. You could just hear people in the stands too. A big ass arena, so a lot of people just yelling shit out, and you could hear comedy just getting yelled out. Comedy. I don't know if it was joking and making impressions of him, or if they actually think that phrase is the funniest thing in the world, which I'm sure some of them do. Who else? He had one of his producers on the podcast open up, Nate Marshall. He was pretty good. And then I finally got to see Matt McCusker for the first time live, and I thought his set was the best out of all of them. Watched his special, listened to him a whole bunch on his podcast and others. I think his younger brother might be the funniest person in the world to get on a podcast or listen to podcast. Shout out War Mode. Shout out Spud, Billy. Two of the funniest fucking dudes and have nothing to do with comedy. But definitely one of the best, funniest podcasts out there. Also pretty fucking informative, especially given they've had like Catherine Austin Fitz on and Jack Cruz and Nick Bryant. I'm hoping they'll have Coop on soon, but yeah, no, fire podcast. And Matt McCusker live was awesome. I don't think any of his material he did was anything that was on his special he just put out. So that was pretty dope to see him working on new shit, and it was all fucking hilarious. Unless he was using shit that I've just never seen that wasn't on the special and that he uses when he's in an arena. But Matt McCusker is kind of that guy where he just says, well, just listen to me talk. It might not even be a joke. I might just be trying to educate you on something that I read recently, and somehow makes it fucking hilarious. So I thought he was the best set. Good ass lineup though. Nate Marshall, Matt McCusker, Mark Norman, then Shane Gillis. Pretty fucking good. And the ticket was free, so I am definitely not complaining. It was gas. Drinks were fucking expensive. You get $15 for a tall boy, but then they go, no tax. No tax. Okay. Nice. Nice. You still charge me fucking $30 for two fucking tall boys. But yeah. Yeah, no. Good time. Then I had another free ticket from the same person. Shout out to boy Brian. I got to go see Coulter Wall 2 days ago. So I hit last week on Thursday, a week ago. Got to see the great comedy set for free, great comedy show for free. And then 2 days ago, following week on Tuesday, I get to see Coulter Wall for free. And that's the second time I've seen Coulter Wall. First time in Flagstaff, and then the second time here in Tucson. The venues that Coulter Wall does are fucking amazing. The theater venues he does is perfect for his music, in my opinion. I'm gonna put some of the clips and videos I took in the intro and outro. So if anyone gives a fuck about that. But yeah, he played I didn't get to see him play A Devil Wears a Suit and Tie the first time I saw him, but he did a little like let's say a remix of it. Then he kind of went into another song, but starting it with The Devil Wears a Suit and Tie. So I was fucking hyped about that. Everyone's in the crowd screaming like, go Kate McKinnon, play Kate McKinnon. And they're like, they're all screaming, I want to shoot my wife, play Kate McKinnon now. That's but it was great. And then he played his other bangers, and then a lot of stuff I'm not familiar with that's I think on his new projects. But overall, fucking phenomenal. The kid that opened for him sounded just as mature and which I say just as much as an old soul as Coulter does, and he was 19 years old. I thought that was fucking wild. I thought that was wild to see someone 19 years old that can have a voice that sounds like someone that's lived multiple lives, like Coulter Wall has an old soul for a young person, like a very like folky old soul, brilliant writer type vibe. And the kid was only 19, so that was dope. So yeah, shout out the boy for those tickets. Couldn't have asked for better experiences, given that I got the tickets for free. So yeah, that was my week regarding shit I did. Other than that, it was just watching the theater unfold with everything. I think social media has just become a fucking playground for adult retards. And it's become like a playground where people go to get their fix of like arguing with people for no reason that are probably usually just bots. But you see a lot of fucking big names do it too, like that retard Godsod, and all in our whole State Department. Pete Hegseth is just on Twitter going, "Yep, this is why we're the Department of War now. This is why I bomb boats with no due process, and this is why it's constitutional." Which I don't know. It's kind of. I know it's Venezuela, but at one point I feel like the drone strikes will be coming for your ass if you got something in your car they don't like. I don't know. I have no clue. So yeah. Other than that, I've just been delving into this like old world realm of like alternative theories about, you know, where all these ancient structures come from, these architectural, you know, feats that we seem to not be able to do today, but they all seem to be built in like the late 1800s, early 1900s, like not too long ago, like, you know, a couple hundred years ago. And I don't know. I've been watching a lot of this one channel called My Lunch Break, and you know, the evidence that that guy is putting out and the content he's putting out is a lot more convincing than these, you know, late 1800s, early 1900s projects that were supposedly the projects that created things like the Big Ben and architectural buildings like that. All these cathedrals, all these huge, massive buildings with pillars that are made out of marble, and all these places that we turned into museums and universities, and cathedrals as well, that seem to be tampered with regarding what the original artwork was on the walls, the carvings, who did it. It seems like that is tampered with and covered up with something that's still beautiful, but it seems like something's being covered up. You have all these structures in India, and they were built in this time frame that wasn't too long ago, but they're still having festivals where they throw cow shit at each other and worship the goddess or god that somehow is manifested from it. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. But I've been, yeah, I don't know. I'm fascinated by that. This Tartaria, you know, vibe that's been getting more popular. Not just Tartaria, but that's a big part of it. This old world that was inhabited by maybe a more advanced civilization, or whoever, you know, maybe even created us, or maybe was handing what they've built onto us. I have no clue. But it seems to, I mean, a lot of like the spiritual, religious energy comes from like these buildings. Just viewing them, you get some sense of like otherworldly or higher power creation that was meant to be handed down to the civilization, which was us, to I guess inherit. And I don't know. I think there's another dark force that, you know, comes from, you know, beings just as powerful, if that's the correct theory, that also want to destroy it. And all these buildings somehow have been involved with fires. You know, like I said, they're museums, courthouses, universities, cathedrals, all these buildings all across the world. You see them everywhere, every country, a lot of different cities. And we're not replicating any of this stuff now that was somehow built by people that were, you know, riding horses and carriages. Didn't even have paved roads. Like the original pictures, it's like these huge, massive, beautiful uh, buildings that we can't replicate today somehow. But when they were still on dirt roads on horseback, um, they somehow figured it out, I guess. But all these buildings seem to have like gone through a fire of some sort. A lot of the architects are just the same ones, same names all across the board. But yeah, it seems like all the fires are still going on today with like these same types of buildings. Like they somehow, like a fire somehow starts and each one of them somehow destroys like integral parts of the buildings, like the clock towers. Like we don't make clock towers anymore, but these buildings, a lot. I mean, the Big Ben is a clock tower. Some of them are still around, but some of them seem to have been like destroyed and you kind of uh, built back up, but not with the same quality, not of the same standard, and almost in a way to like block what that past and true history is, and what was the true purpose of all these buildings. Yeah, I have no clue. It's fascinating though. Really fascinating. And then that leads you down these roads of like, I've always thought this, and not always said, I've been saying it for a while, but I really was not backing my claims up with any like actual evidence. I was literally I would read headlines and I would look at things and I'd say, well, I'm just going to go with what I feel, because the people that put, you know, you know, a shot into your arm filled with mercury and aluminum and maybe even nanobots, that seems to be fucking a lot of people up. A lot of people, especially young people. Those same people that also told you to stay 6 feet apart, the same people that, benefited from the 2008 crash. All these people have never told a single truth. From what I can recall, I can't recall a single fucking truthful statement about any narrative that they've ever told us. But these are the same people that are going to tell you that you're a fucking dummy, that you're a fucking neurodivergent retard if you start, maybe believe, you're not believing, but taking alternative narratives into account, like these giant trees that they tell you are mountains, or they got like like Devil's Stump or whatever the fuck it's called. They're just like, yeah, that's stone. It's petrified. All those monuments in Arizona, places like Sedona, places like the Grand Canyon, a bunch of places in Utah. There's so many places where you see these structures that look like giant tree stumps, and they go, you're a retard if you think that theory has any merit to it. And I thought maybe I am a retard. But when I look at them and I just kind of go with my gut, because why trust the people that, put the mRNA into your arm? Well, why do you have any reason to trust them? I go with your gut, and I was like, maybe it does have merit, and I'm gonna go with this for a while because it seems right. That's my way of thinking. I go, well, it feels right to me. I'm gonna go with that. And I literally just watched a podcast last night with, I think his name is maybe Mike Wilkerson, I think his name was. He has another YouTube name. What is it? Yeah, Mike Wilkerson. It's like, I'll say his YouTube name real quick. Something 7. Yeah, Mike Wil. I don't fucking. Stellium 7 is his YouTube channel. But yeah, this guy goes on the higher side chats, and well, it turns out like these giant tree theories actually have probably more merit, given what he provided regarding evidence, more merit than what you're told in school about how the fuck mountains form, which makes zero sense. That's why I can't even remember what they told us. It was so boring. You can't even fucking stay awake without yelling vulgar phrases out in class just to stay awake, get the dopamine rushes of getting some laughs. And all the bullshit they tell you about, like, millions of years of fossilization and petrification and all this different type, like where precious metals come from, what this guy provided. And he has documentaries out, he has a YouTube page, he delves deep into this, shows that, yeah, actually it doesn't take millions of years to maybe get petrified remains. Maybe the petrification isn't just trees or wood. Maybe it's like petrified biological remains. And this gets into like the Titans and, those, Greek myths. I don't know if they're myths, but I'm not going to, get into like everything you said, because you can just go watch it. But essentially, this guy, funny enough, he was like the first person ever arrested for hacking. He was basically like a tech expert when computers were just starting to, become very popular, mainstream. And he was like the first person arrested and actually charged with like what hacking is. And then he did his time and then went and studied chiropractic medicine in Spain. And then he got into like this geobiological or biogeology, I think he calls it, where you look at these huge mountains where they just say it's like petrified wood, and these huge, also which they call mountains too, and they tell you they formed in some fucking retarded, uncomprehensible way. They actually, when people say like, oh, I see faces in the mountains that resemble the titans of the ancient world, or like huge mammoths, you can just say you see something that looks like that, and that's only going off of what you're viewing and maybe even some type of bias you have for religion. But then he went further and found caves and all these passageways in specifically this one mountain that resembled a giant mammoth, and where there was like cave openings, that's where like the orbitals, the eyes would have been exactly on this titan. And then the caves in these passageways run like perfectly identical to like where you would find these same neural pathways in a biological body like the mammoth. So like you got the eyes and they would run back into the brain, and these passageways were like perfectly identical to what you would find if you were studying a biological like entity, or at least its remains. And then you get things that are like very, very, pretty much identical to like petrified organs, like rocks you find in rivers and all these weird shaped rocks you just see that they say they just bounce off and cracked off each other, and that's how they were formed, and it's random essentially. And it's like, that's not true. And he goes into a whole bunch of different shit where like you can go through an experience as a biological being where the body heats up to such a degree and so quick that it could petrify and create solid like remains of organs, kind of like a hard-boiled egg can get heated up at a certain degree, and the inside, the protein, what was once liquid turns into a solid. So you should go watch it. I'm not gonna give this whole presentation right now. That would be a little bit difficult, but it's amazing that you like people say like, oh, I see faces of giants and mountains that look like they resemble a giant mammoth, like a titan of the ancient world, and people are like, you're a fucking retard, you're a kook. And then you go and you find these tunnels in the mountain where the orbital structure is like identical to what you would actually find on the giant mammoth or some type of biological being that was once alive. So, it's amazing. And there's a bunch of, you have all these other places like the White Pocket that's in northern Arizona that just looking at it, it resembles like the structure of a cell. You have the different epithelium layers. It doesn't resemble like some random process over millions of years. It resembles what a cell looks like and like what a biological being's insides actually look like. And I don't know. If it looks like something, it walks like something, it, smells like something, whatever it is, it could, you go with the, the simplest explanation is usually the right one. But I don't know. That's not what we were told. But what else have we been told that's true? And what about these buildings that have no original blueprints when the law was, when these buildings were supposedly built, that in order to even construct these buildings and structures, you had to have like your original blueprints. You had to have like licenses essentially to do this so that they could keep the records over time. And none of those records exist. They don't. No, that you can't get your hands on them. All these different fires and different buildings have taken place. And then they have the blueprints for when they reconstruct something, but it's usually they're reconstructing like a very simple part, like a roof, or destroying a clock tower and putting something else in there, or, you know, destroying the original art and putting up the art that's up now. Just a lot of it doesn't make sense, especially when they're supposed to have these blueprints and these records by law that they don't have. And then they come up with these weird explanations about how mountains are formed, and you know, all these weird ancient sites, like all these really, you know, retarded theories of what these sites are that just don't make sense when you hear the alternative theories and you kind of look at it with you look at it objectively, and you kind of just decide for yourself what you want to think. So I've been going pretty deep into that, to be honest. It's fascinating. And then I mean, to get back to like the giant tree, like, I don't know. I mean, you see this shit in movies. You got like Avatar has those giant trees that they're like very connected to. But then if you get into these theories, like the globe theory and the sphere theory, like, I'm not saying one's right or the other, or flat earth or hollow or whatever you want to, you know, throw out there. I'm not saying any one is right. I'm just saying maybe explore all of them, because just because, I mean, okay, if just because you can kind of maybe show evidence that would suggest something different than the original narrative, even without a theory, that doesn't make the original narrative right. You don't need a automatic replacement to the original theory to propose that the original narrative is wrong or potentially wrong. That doesn't make any sense. They're like, oh, yeah, so that doesn't make sense either if they argue that. You know, you got it. I don't know. But, I mean, they don't look like fucking petrified, you know, monuments. They look like fucking tree stumps. Some of them even have the fucking, you know, concentric, is that what you call it? Concentric rings in the middle that, you know, are almost identical to the ones you'd see on the trees that we know of. So, and then you have all these weird sites that a lot of them, the public's not even allowed to enter. Very specific parts of the sites you're allowed to go to, and you got to like pay to do it. It's like they close all this shit off for preservation, but then we just have to go with whatever they tell us, and we got to assume that's right. And given that they, you know, don't tell the truth very often, if at all, it's kind of hard to just go with the flow regarding this past that maybe they have no clue what the fuck's going on. Or maybe a certain group, very powerful, tight-knit group that, you know, has members playing different parts and roles in our governing bodies and the authorities. Maybe they know a little bit about it, but, you know, I think the occult and people doing like black magic, deceit is like the number one thing first. So first, forbid and hide the knowledge of, you know, the technology they have or know of, and also use the knowledge and secrets of the human psychology to deceive. And that's the first part in performing magic, is deceive. And then yeah, and then, you know, things get played out the way that a certain group might want them to play out, through their deceit, through their lies, and also through their rituals and sacrifices, and whatever deities they summon. I don't know, but I think specific groups and specific people know of what is really going on with like these structures we can't explain or replicate. I think they know what's going on with these very like sacred, you know, like spiritualistic sites around the world that they call mountains, and they have all these names for them that we don't know of, and they don't plan on telling us. And also, I think there's a lot of properties of the human psychology that we're unaware of. I mean, I mean, that's pretty obvious given projects like MK Ultra or Project Monarch or Project Bluebeam, Blue Book, all these things. I think it's pretty obvious that they're performing some type of, black magic on the psychology of humans as well, and forbidding what that knowledge is about the human psychology that they have a good understanding of. And with the forbidden knowledge of these ancient sites and buildings, also with the forbidden knowledge of the human psychology, they can essentially, and also the rituals and blood sacrifices and very evil things going on with trafficking and whatnot. All those things mixed together, and you have your little fucking potion of black magic that you can perform on the masses and achieve a a desired result, or a required one, you could say. I don't fucking know who they're required to do this black magic for, but it doesn't seem like God. So that's what I've been getting into. Love the old world shit. I don't know why I'm fascinated by it, and I think that anyone that gives it a chance, maybe not even believing it or taking it seriously, but anyone that like seems to give it a chance or just like entertain it, even just purely just for entertainment, seems to like gain an immediate satisfaction or fascination for this like topic and the knowledge. And well, I mean, I know I do, and it's hard not to. It's fascinating, the beauty that like these buildings and these different sites provide is insane. And it's just not, and even the artwork that these ancient places and people of our past have left us, or maybe built before they were taken out some way. I don't know. They're things of beauty that just aren't around today. They're not, I don't think they're as appreciated. I don't think they're understood. And I think that the degradation of beauty over time through all forms of art that I think it's obvious. I think that plays a role in not maybe understanding these alternative theories, or understanding like the importance of these alternative theories and the importance of like these old sites and these ancient sites and these beautiful, like these things of actual objective beauty that aren't performed or created near as much by our civilization, no matter how advanced we are, because we're advancing in a different way. We're advancing in the more technological realm, which can be a good thing, I think. But I think when you are going about that advancement with the idea of like creating a god, like through AI or quantum computing, you kind of lose sight of the natural God, the one that, I mean, the one that's already here, maybe, that I don't know, that may be the creator. Why create another one if there's already been I don't know. I have no clue on that, but I think that shit's fascinating. I love that shit. Like I said, my lunch break, fucking amazing. Whatever that guy's name, Mike Wilkerson, amazing shit. And there's so many other people as well that delve into this. I mean, even the boy Kurt Metzger has he talks about some of this shit. He has a lot of people on his pod that talk about it. I don't know how I don't know how someone couldn't find it fascinating, given how fucking extremely boring and quite honestly retarded like the original mainstream narrative is that we're all, deep-throated with as we're rising up the ranks in the education system that was, created by the Rockefellers, and there was an education system that was in place and a knowledge that was in place of humans and our past, and maybe even our purpose that was in place and very, very functioning before the new modern Rockefeller education system was implemented. So it's not like you're going into like cuckoo wacky shit. They'll tell you that, but it's like, well, this was what was in place and it was working pretty damn good. And then a new system got put in place that, seems to poison you through the air, through the food, through every means of living now. And then gives you a remedy that keeps you sick or makes you even more sick. And, it makes you essentially their cattle. So I don't know if that's the way to go. I have no clue. But comfort and convenience really breed docile mouth breathers that will snort some Tylenol with a little bit of... They'll snort Tylenol and Ozempic lines. They'll just put them in the same line and crack the bitches up and snort them. They'll go in the middle of the woods, these fat fucks, to get bit by a Gila monster. These fat fucks would go on a hike and not have the intention of losing weight by hiking, but having the intention of hopefully getting bit by a Gila monster so they could get a GLP-1 fix. So, yeah, I don't know if this is... I don't know. I mean, the virus term comes from, I don't know if it's Latin, I forgot what it is, but it means poison, I guess. That's where virus was derived. So, I mean, I've heard some things, especially on war mode, about all of this disease and health issues that humans are now having today just all stems from like snake venom or some type of venom. And that's like the root of it. It's all just a poison and a venom-like root of disease and suffering. So, I mean, that I definitely could have some merit in it. I mean, I know I heard Billy McCusker saying that all the vaccines might just be fucking snake venom that they're putting into you, and it's in whatever they tell you is in it, and none of that is in there. Except probably the heavy metals, but you get those in every which way and form of daily life, whether you're inhaling it, whether you're walking around outside and it's falling on you, whether you're swimming in a river or lake that you think is clean but has been rained on and has had chemical soups flood them following that rain. I mean, and then you eat shit from that's grown and fed through that water source that the chemical soup's falling into. You drink the water that it's sourced from, and holy shit, I mean, the vaccines are going straight to the bloodstream with the heavy metals, but fuck, they are like one of infinite sources you're getting this shit put into you. Yeah, so, I mean, holy shit. But then you just go, I'm neurodivergent, don't worry. I'm neurodivergent. No one cares. And then you got the alien shit coming. Can't wait for that. Can't wait to see these aliens, these fucking grays, dude. I mean, fuck. Joe Rogan's made a 360-degree turn. I mean, he still thinks they're real, but dude, I had a dream where they were like trying to scare me, but then they were just fucking with me. It's like, dude, what? Okay. You're just talking about the comedy mothership. You're just talking about fucking Kill Tony. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we'll have aliens descend on the sky in the form of fucking what am I fucking trying to say here? Essentially holograms. Yeah, they'll just be hologram aliens and spaceships that come down and drones that are built by DARPA and Raytheon. And everyone will go, holy shit, they're real and they're a threat. And then the aliens will go, no, we're here to help you. And we'll just all hand over everything. We'll be like, oh, they're fucking nice. They're benevolent. The next thing you know, you're getting kicked in your ass by a fucking DARPA minion. And you're like the character in Brave New World. You're taking the Soma, but it's a fucking mRNA fucking vaccine that's hooking you up to the 5G network. But you know, just like the Brave New World, we're like, well, can we at least, you know, fuck like animals and just all hump each other? Can we just all have 9 mates and all fuck each other and have our Soma? And as long, I mean, that's essentially the culture we've created. So as long as you got that and you're fucking poison to shove down your gullet while you watch, you know, a bunch of fucking mutant retards run around in tights after a ball 3 days a week. As long as you got that, as long as you got Red Dive 40 and Doritos and gas station, you know, slop to shove down your fat gullet, as long as you got that and you got 9 disgusting vaccinated mates that you can just fuck all the time and pass on to, you know, anyone else. And you also have your essentially gay porn that is in the form of the NFL, bunch of, you know, men in tights running around after balls that all have CTE, and you know, I mean, as long as you got that, you're good to go. You got the trifecta. That's a trifecta. I don't know. It's like, yeah, I mean, I'm doing my annual watch of Harry Potter and that whole series. I do it every year around this time, and it's every fucking year as you get older and, you know, learn more about the occult and the old religion and all these black magic magicians. You see it more and more every year in Harry Potter. Each time you watch the series, you say, "Oh my! I didn't know there was a million fucking Freemason arcs in this fucking movie series." I mean, it's just filled with Freemason arcs. And then you have, I mean, you have like the basilisk that would petrify you. So you got Medusa right there. You got so many symbols in a show like that we have loved since we were young and been, you know, conditioned and taught by. And yeah, it teaches a lot, but I think it's symbolizing more of who runs the world, and that this magic that we're watching is not so fantasy and it's actually being performed every day. And I think they tell you that you're just a fucking muggle retard because we know you don't actually believe this magician magic fantasy shit that you're watching starting as a kid. But, you know, we all I still watch it. You know, you think it's just the movie. It's just fantasy. It's not real. Yeah, that's why you can. That's why we all want to relate with the wizards, but we're actually really just the fucking muggles that, you know, stick to the 9 to 5, do the thing that you're supposed to do, that the centralized power, you know, kind of conveniences you into doing. And, you know, like the Dursleys, we all want to be the wizards and those characters, and we all fantasize and almost like idolize them in the show, but they're trying to tell us that, oh, you guys don't believe in magic outside of this. It's just fantasy. That's why you're all muggle retards like the Dursleys. And I think like the Harry Potter series is actually just trying to tell us, like, yeah, no, magic's real, black magic's real. We perform these rituals. We have symbolism everywhere here. But we want you to keep thinking that science is the true answer, the one answer, the Big Bang, the vaccines, the pharmaceutical medicine, the everything that man created to make life work is the right way. And it's like, no, I mean, honestly, your body is like its own factory for medicine. It's like its own hospital. Everything that is like a health issue or any, health related problems should all have a natural remedy. That's just how that's what seems right to me. I don't know why it wouldn't be right. I don't know. Isn't that what I feel like Eden might have been, but I don't know. I just feel like if the body can manifest or experience a health defect or a health issue or a disease, then the body should, I mean, this is just my opinion. I feel like the body should also be able to manifest, or at least something natural on earth should be able to manifest the remedy or cure to whatever that defect or health issue would be. But I don't know. I don't know. That's my opinion, though. But Harry Potter's great. Not all the way through all the movies yet, but getting there. Good old Goblet of Fire. Good old Twilight Boys in this one. I remember he's about to get fucking bopped in the Triwizard fucking cup, whatever the fuck it's called. Cedric. But I think Harry Potter's telling a lot more truth than what people believe, and that's what they want people to be, the Dursleys and the Muggles and the dipshits that participate in the theater, in the show, in the magic, but in a manner that they don't understand. So I mean, then I'm watched the first episode of the new season of Stranger Things. Didn't finish the first 4 seasons. I tried to watch it, a while back. Didn't get through it. And I think Izzy Griffin is right. I mean, he's probably not the only person saying this, but he had a great video on it. And yeah, I think Stranger Things is also like Harry Potter or any of these series, Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones. It's like maybe they're actually trying to tell you something. Maybe like Stranger Things, like Izzy said, is like a representation of MK Ultra. Why are they like torturing these kids? Are going through like very traumatic situations, and fucks them up, and then somehow it's like also giving them powers at the same time, almost like splitting people's personality, and then creating alter egos, alter identities that can carry out specific tasks, can carry out specific skills. Like remote viewing could be one of them. Being a trained assassin could be one of them. A whole bunch of things. But it's not really the original person who did it. It's one of the split egos. And that seems to be pretty clear. That seems pretty obvious that that's going on in Stranger Things. I mean, you have Eleven, who's like the most traumatized one out of all of them. And the bitch is jumping over fucking buses. Fucking smashing pumpkins with the raising her hand, smashing a fucking pumpkin. The one, I forget all their names, the one that freaks out and tweaks, and I think it might be the older brother of the kid they're trying to find, but he can like remote view into the Demogorgon or whatever that thing's called. I mean, that thing reminds me of the interview with one of Jeffrey Epstein's victims, who said she saw him shapeshift at the Zorro Ranch where he was working on eugenics and God knows what else. I mean, probably a lot of MK Ultra mind control things, probably a lot of science, anti-gravity shit, and then also the eugenics and whole trying to create a population, elite race that Epstein was trying to do. you know how all the Jews hate Hitler for that, but Epstein was literally doing the same thing. It's pretty crazy. But when she says she like woke up on a fucking laboratory bed and saw him like shape shift into like a reptilian like entity, and then kind of went back, and that was the only time she saw it happen. But that thing, that demogorgon creature fuck in Stranger Things, is like kind of similar to that. Fucking tortures and terrorizes them, and then they're like gaining all these different powers, or like fucking remote viewing. I mean, the one kid remote views into that fucking thing, that creature. And then you got the other ones, they got all fucking sorts of psychic abilities and skills that they wouldn't have otherwise gained unless they were going through this whole, experience, which is the show. So I don't know. And then it's all like it takes place at like a military base, and they're like experimenting on creating these creatures, and I don't know. And they're like, I don't know. It seems very, very like similar to these projects that we know about. But, they acknowledge, but they go, oh, all the shit was destroyed. And then, well, you think about like these military people and like Forrest Gump and Tom Hanks's character in that, but these military people that are like in Stranger Things, and or even in like Harry Potter, you see people that are like high up in the ministry, like Malfoy, Draco's dad and shit, that like they're high level, high functioning people in the military that are also like satanic, are part of the occult and practice black magic. That kind of reminds me of like, well, Michael Aquino, someone like that, or the people that he used to run around with, or Anton LaVey, Aleister Crowley, these types of individuals. It's like, you would think black magic would be used for war if it was going to be used for anything. That's the biggest blood sacrifice one can, carry out, would be mass war, continuous war, and mass slaughterings of the people that fight the wars and are victims of the wars. And, well, given that would be the biggest blood sacrifice, I can think of, it wouldn't be too far-fetched to say that, there's a lot more people other than Michael Aquino that have been put in those same positions. I don't think he's like this one random anomaly that just happened to raise up the ranks in military. I think he's like the face of it, given he looks like a fucking dumbass too. So, whew. We're all, just think about all the shit that we've had to witness on social media, and just like these tragic, traumatic events that like, you couldn't make scene on a wide scale without like the technology that they've created, like these phones and social media, which have been great. But also it's like, we were all forced to watch Charlie Kirk. If he's even dead, Valhalla, see you in Valhalla, brother. We were all literally forced to watch that. Just a dude get his neck fucking sniped. And then watch his wife go on and be a cunt. Absolute bitch. And then she's in that country video, like, what? My Kind of Crazy? Okay. My Kind of Crazy. Yeah. Your type? Yeah. Literally. He's like, yep, Charlie Kirk show, TPUSA, mine now. Your kid that's in my stomach, not yours. She's like, JD Vance, the guy that wears eyeliner? The eyeliner boy that gets he gets a little loving from good old Christian Peter Thiel, the great AI Christian. Love those guys. I love all the people that are involved with Palantir that go in Rogan too. Mark Andreessen, faggot. Mark Andreessen's a fucking peanut. Dude looks like a fucking thumb. Looks like a fucking thumb. If you drew a little face on your thumb and held it up, that's Mark Andreessen, and he's telling you, as a millionaire, maybe billionaire venture capitalist, that like AI is the best thing for you. Dude's a fucking idiot. And then you got what? You got Peter Thiel went on there. You got JD Vance, who not only was an investor and took money from Thiel, but took some dick too. You have Chamath, whatever the fuck that dummy's name is. Chamath Namakonak smelly cow dung shit worshiper. I'm not, that's probably mean, but don't care. He was on Rogan talking about, God knows what. He was talking about how he's going to create artificial shit to throw at, him and his boys and the robots when they don't have any cows to get it from in the future because they farted too much. You hear him talk about cows farting and that's causing all the shit, but they don't say anything about the shit throwing cow dung worship going on in a fucking, country where we're just bringing all their people over. I mean, I don't believe it's the farts, but I mean, if it hit the CO2, I mean, which is not a bad thing, especially for plants. If the CO2 is raising so much and it's coming from cow farts, why don't we tell the shit throwers to stop worshiping it and piling it up for 6 months to roll around in, for in which they call a festival that is essentially their Coachella. Their Coachella in this village is to save cow shit up for 6 months to a year and throw it at each other. I mean, that's awesome. Fucking crazy, dude. I mean, can you imagine telling them that you're going to take all their cows away because they're fucking farting and burping and it's causing climate change? Oh my God. Oh, the cow dung god or goddess, whatever one it is that they worship they would summon that bitch. Then we got we had Bart Cybrell debate the Apollo astronaut, and the Apollo astronaut, I mean, yeah, he's old, dude, but people are defending him like, oh, it's because he's old and this is fucked up that Bart and Danny Jones put him in a situation like that. Well, one, he agreed, and two, you can't just, as an Apollo astronaut, you're either a fucking retard and they put you through MK Ultra, and you actually just are kind of, fucked in the head a little bit. And at that age, I mean, it's going to be hard to change your mind about what happened, but you can't just answer every single question or argument that someone like Bart Cybrell puts forward about the moon landing being fake. You can't just answer it with, what is the topic? What's the point of this discussion? What's the point of this? Dude, you can't, you said that 40 times already. And you can't even, you just say you fucking we went there and we got the moon rocks. I mean, I don't even believe you fucking have any knowledge of anything regarding physics or what an astronaut should know, because he just told you that the spaceship was really fast that they were in. And he told you that, well, we got moon rocks that we gave to people and were fake. That's another thing. I guess precious metals, a lot of them, silver, gold, copper, come from like petrified remains. Possibly petrified biologic remains and petrified tree remains. And you got to wonder why all these sites got preserved and were closed to the public for the reason of preservation. But it's like, what? I mean, were we going to really, destroy it? Or were they, getting their dibs on the all the precious resources that could be attained and then can be, and then they could say they are finite resources, which then they can create hierarchies of power and energy, just like oil. The blood of the earth, they tell you, is finite. Okay. All right. I mean, yeah, it's finite. Okay. Well, I mean, why do people just, okay. Why is it just all around the world in random places? And it's like never ceasing, the resources and the reserves of oil. But they tell you it's finite, and they create power structures around energy because the fear of not being warm enough or not being able to cool down at different times of the year might scare people into compliance and paying for those resources and energy that they have to provide and that they've garnered the power over and the control over it. But it's really like an infinite source, and everyone's just too fucking retarded to understand that. And as long as that they're too retarded and they're comfy and everything is a convenience, then you can take the responsibility away from them. Just keep shoving fucking ruffles down their fucking gullet. Keep shoving shots in their arm. Keep giving them toilet paper to rub shit all over their ass. And give them their gay sports, and they won't give a fuck about where oil comes from or how much of it there is. Because they'll get, even if you say there's not much left, those fucking, docile retards will cheer you on and support whatever war you want to go into to get more of it so that they can, continue what they're doing. And they can continue to get their comfort and convenience and, poison slop to merely, survive and, be able to at least open their eyes in the morning and sit up and, quite frankly, eat the poison that they're fed while they're taking a shit in the morning. As long as they can rise and shine, start eating the poison that they're shitting out, go get paid a nice little sum, and then, Clockwork Orange your eyes open and watch football 3 days a week. They'll do anything. They'll do anything. But I mean, and also the character, the fucking lesbos and fucking Stranger Things, dude. I mean, there's no better way to ruin a show than to literally have like a good plot, a good storyline, like a good start, and then halfway through the first or second episode, you introduce a fag or a fucking tranny or some type of fucking gay shit into it for no reason. No reason. It just, I mean, there's no better way to ruin a good piece of art than to throw a random fag or tranny or anything gay into it. Right when it's starting to get good, they go, here's a couple of two really hot girls that actually are going to want to fuck each other. Okay, I'm sure that's how it is. And then all the fucking guys that are just, hitting their peak T levels as teenagers in the show are just like, yeah, I'm glad for you. It's like, yeah, right. If that's real life, every single one of those kids is fucking devastated. That's like his team losing the fucking Super Bowl. He goes, okay, I'm never going to fuck that. That sucks. But no, they're all going to be excited. It's set in the 80s, so, you know, it's frowned upon to be lesbian, but no, I don't. Yeah, that's crazy. And you can't trust anyone. I mean, yeah, I guess you can't even trust me. I'm just out here spewing bullshit. I mean, got a couple bots listening, right? That's about it, or what? But I mean, everyone that we thought was on our side, or that I thought was on our side, I go, fuck, I have no clue. I have no clue what fucking Alex Jones is up to or been up to this whole time. I have no clue what Rogan is doing now. They say he's the alternative media. It's like podcasting is not alternative anymore. It's like podcast is the mainstream media, but there is alternative people in the podcast community. But to call Rogan the alternative media still is, I mean, that's booster mentality, right? That's literally booster mentality. That is like, I mean, you have Hunter Biden going on people's shows. That's insane. You have Elon Musk, that's number one space guy apparently, but they sure are subtle. The guy's building fucking, you know, tunnels underground so that they can survive when the fucking asteroids hit. And he goes, they sure are subtle. That's crazy. That's crazy. You can't trust anyone. And alternative media. And then you still, I mean, people that are still like doing like, I mean, Candace, I don't know. I mean, I like some of the shit she says, but I'm just like, I don't know if I can trust your husband or like what you're up to, because you should have immediately started criticizing Kirk's cunt wife, but didn't. And I don't know. They're going to argue about a dude that's in Valhalla right now. I have no clue what she's up to. And then you got Tucker, fucking knows with that guy. He's just calling, you know, just yelling faggot 7 times with Piers Morgan. It's hilarious. But I don't know what's up with that dude. He's shooting guns with Sean Ryan. That's fucking crazy. Yeah, Sean Ryan show. Yeah, that's alternative media. It's alternative media. He has Chase Hughes on, the number one fucking interrogation, like mind, you know, control behavior expert. And they're over here saying, I don't know if it's likely that Tyler Robinson carried this out. Really, dude? You're the number one dude in the MK Ultra research at the moment that we're told, but you have nothing to say about like the SRA and the satanic ritual abuse that needs to go on to split personalities. You just talk about how you can read if someone's fucking right knee is over their left when they're sitting, and that tells you that they're a little scared that their ball sacks are exposed. That's crazy. I mean, I trust Catherine Austin Fitts. I'll say that. I trust Catherine Austin Fitts. I like Whitney Webb. I like Ryan Dawson. I like Nick Bryant. I think there's a lot of good people out there, but you know, they don't get, you know, you don't see their shit. You can't, I mean, you don't see all their shit. And there's a lot of great creators. I mean, there's tons of them. All right. Yeah, Trump just let the cat out of the bag that cellular signals in 5G and upcoming 6G can also be used for 3D spatial penetrative surveillance and can see through skin and walls. Nice. If you took that nice little nanobot fucking thing that they shot in everyone's arm, be ready to connect to the fucking 666G. Nah. Yeah, I don't know. I shouldn't even be reading fucking Twitter right now. But fuck. Those are my thoughts recently. You know. Optimistic. I think more people are waking up every single day, but I think they like wake up to like just like, oh, someone's bad in politics, and then there's like the person that opposes the person that kind of woke them, you know. Like the Trump situation, but Trump is literally one of their best players. But I think a lot of people are waking up, but then they just jump. They still act like politics is the answer. They like find someone that opposes them on something they just got, you know, red pilled on, or something that woke them up, and they go, well, who's my next savior? And they jump and they run around and they run to people like Candace Owens, who might well be right. I don't fucking know. I really don't know. I mean, she's apparently being tracked and has a bounty on her that they sent, some French and Israeli assassin to carry out. I don't know. I mean, maybe. You have Tim Pool, who, still won't take his fucking beanie off. I'm starting to think he's like the professor, and what is that? Is that that's movie number 1, the Sorcerer's Stone, that has the fucking thing wrapped around his head, and then Voldemort's on the back of it, like one of those twins that like is like attached at birth and like kind of like feeds on the other as like a parasite. When Voldemort's on the back of that dude's head, that's literally, there's probably a fucking little Rabbi Shmuley goblin on the back of Tim Pool's head, and that's why he doesn't take the beanie off. And apparently his house is getting shot. It has drive-bys happening. So he's fearing for his life because Candace is beefing with him. I don't know. I mean, Milo goes on Tim Pool. He's dropping bombs. He had the nerve to say he was gay when he started, but a lot of these other conservative people don't want to say what they prefer in their mouth or where they prefer to put their ding-a-ling-a-lings. Yeah. All right. Oh, never mind. I was gonna... Yeah, no. Sorry, I was just scrolling through X. It's not even worth it. I keep going back. But no, I need to be original. Enough of this fucking comment on what everyone else is arguing about. Bullshit at the moment. Shit fucking sucks. Shit fucking sucks. At least we got the holidays coming. But I mean, what does that turn into? It's like, hey, what am I getting you for Christmas? What are you getting me? I don't fucking know. Don't really care. Yeah, I don't know. I think the businesses and the corporations are going to be real happy soon. They're going to hit all their margins. They're going to get their profit for the year. That's what the holidays for them is all about. It's not about giving you deals to help you out and help the families out. It's about finally turning a profit on all the merchandise that they went into debt for at the beginning of the year. I'm pretty sure that's literally what Black Friday is, but I don't know. I really want to, I guess it's fucking, we're going to have an the guy's Twitter handle is Everyday Astronaut. I guess he's going to go on the Danny Jones podcast and argue with Bart Sibrel, so that'll be fun. That'll be really fun. All right. All right, that's going to be it for the public app, I think. Yeah. All right. Peace.
Life's barely long enough to get good at one thing.
If that long.
Yeah, so be careful what you get good at.
Well, Reverend, please come quick. 'Cause I got something to admit. I met a man out in the sticks, good old miss. He drove a Series 10 Cadillac and wore a cigar on his lip. Don't you know the devil wears a suit and a tie? So I drive it down to 60 early July. White as a cotton field and sharp as a knife. I heard him howling as he passed me by. Left my poor mother and my brothers and me. So I headed north, ride for the blockers. They were contracting the herds for the Montana range. In the spring of the year left old Lampasas, 2,000 steers for the little big horn. Crossing our trails, there were many great rivers, all to be crossed. Not a bridge would we find in the cold rolling waters, and a wild plunging cattle. There was many young men who took leave of his life across the Dome Store into the Indian Nation. Saw the blood on the rocks, but them cowboys had died. Then it's on to Fort Dodge, on the Arkansas River, where gamblers and whores all welcomed us there. And the great snow-capped peaks, they were on our left side now, for many a mile, in a great silent land. When I first saw Montana, I knew I would love her. I would ride her great ranges until the end of my days. She's all cut and dry now, and the trails are all gone. Been in the Yellowstone Park in an automobile, but I can still hear them running. Boys, I can still see them swimming. I came off of the trail when the cowboys was king.